Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Laurel Park. Naomi Tucker alongside Keith Fusel. What a beautiful day here at the track. Can't wait to get going here with the 9-race card, but a little bit bittersweet for me here, being my
Yeah,
last time doing the show with you
I'm
this
telling you.
morning here.
Yeah,
It's been a pleasure, my friend.
it's been a lot of fun, and you've definitely brought a lot to the circuit from a handicapping standpoint, just from a analysis standpoint, from any way you want to present it standpoint. I mean, you've came in here, you didn't miss a beat. We were lucky to have you. It's been 2.5 years, right?
Yeah, correct.
I mean, where has
Yeah.
the time gone? But I mean, you're a great young talent. I've picked up from multiple things from you, which has been good, and teaching an old dog some new tricks. And you've got a great future ahead of you, no doubt about it. And best of luck to you, Hondo. I know he's got some things in his future lined up. And you guys are going to do great. You're going to do great. I know you're going to go into bigger and better things. Very versatile, this one here. She has a lot of knowledge. I mean, I could see her
You're gonna make me
branch off.
emotional now.
I could see you branch off to some other sports. Who knows? But I think your heart is always going to be in thoroughbred racing, I would think. And I think we'll see you around, maybe Preakness time. I think there's a chance, small chance.
I'd love to come
Yeah,
back for
you
previous.
better.
Look, I've
Yep.
learned so much from you, from everyone that I got the pleasure to work with. I had such a warm welcome here
Yep.
coming to Maryland. I've enjoyed working with all these amazing people, if on the camera, behind the scenes. It's been quite the 2.5 years, and I've learned so much, had a wonderful time. So I'll definitely be very fondly looking back
No,
at my time
no doubt.
here. So, well, let's get going, right?
Okay.
With the final show here.
Yes.
Track conditions, fast and firm. I couldn't have picked a better day. It's just a
Oh,
beautiful day
gorgeous.
here. Warm weather. You can see that the rail is out for a couple of our turf events. I do know the longer races, the mile and 3.8, will be run without the rail here, but this is exactly what we hope to see today.
This is gorgeous. I mean, what a stretch that we've been lucky enough to have some good prices along the way. We've been seeing the ball pretty well. So you're finishing strong. Let's hope you can really put the nail into it today and finish up with some winners. I'm sure you will. So let's get to the first.
Absolutely. Maiden
Yep.
special weight, 3-year-old fillies. We're going 6 furlong in the sprinting distance. We have a video spotlight on Milady Thatcher. Of course, early pick 5 starts right here as well. We look back at her start of her last race. It wasn't too long ago. She basically got steadied a little bit, and then in the end, later on, she came out herself and got DQ'd. So there was a couple of things going on throughout
Yeah.
the race here. We also had a Ladro Di Vici, who she actually had the bad start, and then ends up re-braking and really fighting for it on the inside rail. And then Milady Thatcher just kind of getting steadied around the half marker as well. And unfortunately, that cost her the victory because she did cross the wire first.
It did, unfortunately. Just a little hiccup there. It happens in this game. And now you kind of got to rebound. And we had a horse yesterday, right? The 2-year-old who was DQ'd out of a win
Yes,
for a
came
little
back to
traffic
win
infraction.
officially.
Came back to win officially. And we'll see. Milady Thatcher, you saw early on, she had some gate speed. Got in a little bit of a pickle, had to steady out of it, but really regrouped nicely, made a pretty good advance, showed good acceleration, leaving the 5/8 to the half, got position, and is able to go clear here. Yeah, and the fourth did it from outside, just off of it. The inside was good, the third and the fourth. See if she can come back and stay out of any trouble, any little problems there, and get the job done. But she's got a new shooter in here in Texian
Yes.
that is working lights out in New York. Hasn't been seen since September of 21 by Quality Road out of a really nice mare, 3 for 7. Won her first 2. There's win early in this family. Look at the works back in late May, 47 and 3 out of the gate. A minute, triple key race going way back. This one's got me definitely concerned. I think if she shows anything like she's showing in the morning, she's certainly bred to be a good one. Might upset the apple cart. May not be much price difference when it's all said and done because of the Shug McGahee factor.
Well, that's the intriguing part, of course. Hall of Fame trainer. She hasn't shown anything, though, in her first 2
No.
starts. Those have been disappointing, to be quite honest.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for the connections and those works coming in here, you probably wouldn't use her. I had her in my exact at first. I end up using both Milady Thatcher as well as Ladro Di Vici on top in
Okay.
the end just because of those performances that we saw in that last race, where they both kind of overcame adversity or tried to do so, and were both progressing in terms of their performance. So I hope that they can continue. But look, Texian really just don't know what to make of her. The works seem to indicate that she turned a whole new leaf. She went up against the best of the best in those maiden special weights in Saratoga. We know that those 2-year-old maiden special weights are highly contested during the Saratoga season.
Basically the best of the best when you get down to it. So yeah, and Chuck can get these horses refreshed, ready to go and win off of a layoff. The 4 is a firster by Violence. Tim Keefe doesn't win a lot first out. Violence, a very good first time out stallion. So we got a couple different ways to go here. I'm intrigued about the 3, but the 1 is clearly proven, and we'll try to get it done again officially.
Agreed here. Race number 2, optional claimant starts Laurel. This is our first event on the turf. 5.5 furlongs. The distance, Laurel will be out 52 feet. We're going to start with that early pick 4.
You know, I take abuse from some people. We're not going to name names,
doing?
but they watch the show, and sometimes they parade up to the press box later in the day, and if I don't have a good day, I get abused. So I hope he is watching. I'll just say it's a he.
Okay.
He knows who he is. I said, I'm going to take the all button in the first leg because, man, Keith, you got knocked out in the first race yesterday. I said, well, didn't you see the race the day before when we hit for 460, Naomi? That doesn't matter. It's what have you done for me lately? Here's the spread. 2, 3, 4, 6, 10, 11,
That's
12.
very short-term memory
13.
there. 2
Yeah.
days ago.
No, but there's so many ways to go in race 2. Race 3, we're going to trim it down. 2 and the 4. Questionable drop for Middle Island, but I will use race 4 with the 1 and the 2. Like Gentleman Joe a lot today, and wrap it up in the 5th with Royan and Fermat. I know you're going to abuse me on my pick of Fermat, but that's okay. Probably well deserved. Early ticket, 32. I originally had a single in there, but I wasn't terribly comfortable. So
who was going to be your single?
The Gentleman Joe. I like Gentleman Joe a lot today. Yep.
Yeah, I like him a lot there as well. That's actually our feature race, that 4th race. I think Gentleman Joe's got a very strong chance. He's my second choice in there. But let's dive into race number 2, where you go very, very deep, very much a spread race. Here, optional claimant starts at Allowance. We also have a video spotlight on the number 2, Violet Rock. We go back to his last race, where that was his first time sprinting on the turf. And it proved to be his jam. He's not blazing fast early, but he sits mid-pack and then just starts to roll, takes over on the outside. William Humphrey atop, swings out, gets away from the traffic, had some horses in front of him. You can see there was kind of a lot going on there. That's right there. Thankfully, William goes, all right, we got to get out of this, right? We got to move. And moves him to the outside and ends up just by the smallest of margins, getting his nose in front.
Yeah, switches over to the correct lead and levels off and gets it done. That was on June the 4th. A couple of these horses have run on that same day. The same rail setting, 52 feet out. This was a good race, the turn back in distance. We talked yesterday a little bit. William Humphrey, live bug rider, teaming up with Norman Cash. They're doing very well. This is a race where you got to look for a little bit of value. I think Violent Rock will slip through the cracks a little bit. Gets a good ground-saving trip in here and should fire home late. Some of the speed did come out with the scratch of Sky of Gold. A little long shot. I know you've got the horse, and Uncle Romy could go a ways in here. Has a 75 on the go-back on the grass for Larry Smith. Hickory Made Stables, always rooting for Larry. Definitely has speed, is a danger. My top pick, though, the 12. Inside stunt.
I like it. I had the 12 on and off my ticket. So this is such a spread race for me that the fact that I didn't have your top pick on board is not because I didn't like him. He's finally getting what they've wanted for him in terms of getting him on the turf. But he won, taking them gate to wire on the main track as well. Yeah,
and this is a move I said, running well in the dirt, why you go turf. I trust Mike Girallis does a very good job year in and year out. Doesn't run a ton of horses. Always hits at a good clip. Second dam, 3 for 14 on the turf, 6 for 14 in the money. Did carry that speed longer, but this horse has a natural turn of foot and has tactical speed. I like the trip. If this horse takes to turf, I think it's going to be just fine. Yeah. Mike Girallis, I know it's only 5 years and it's a small sample. 1 for 5, but 4 for 5 in the money. First turf, so there's some angles there that work. The Stallion Greenpoint Crusader had a winner on the grass here the other day with Jerry's Gem. Why not?
Why not? I like that. You got to go with a bit of a price in here when it's that deep of a field. I landed on Never Satisfied for training Damon Lodovico. It's going to be second start to the Lodovico barn. He's really started to do well now. Wasn't part of the race after getting bumped at the start in his local kind of debut here. Drops down to an easier group from that allowance company. His Gulfstream Park run 2 starts back, that second within 68 buyer would be good enough to get the spoils in here. I still think there's pace enough to make it honest, perhaps not blazing pace, but still good enough as long as never satisfied. You can get out the gate, a clean trip, and go on.
Damon getting himself some turf winners right now. I love it. It's good. And this one here, the 2-back try Gulfstream was good. They had a duel to set things up, shifted out, had a clear run top of the stretch. It really closed up willingly, gets a little extra ground off of that try. The winner came back, ran a 76, a 77. Fifth place finisher came back and won clear for 35. Back to the sprint. This is what this guy wants. Never satisfied a shot to roll in there from the back.
Absolutely agree with you. Yeah, I throw the number 13 in there too, FOMO for McLean Hendricks. Javian will have to slot him in from that outside position, but he strode a strong late presence last time out. That was at this level. I'm looking for him to back that up. That was a strong pace figure. That wasn't the smallest field either. We've seen these bigger fields on the turf, and FOMO is really starting to cycle into it.
Cycled into it, no doubt, up to a top last time. But you see the short comment, inside move, angled, game, was able to get the trip around that turn.
Yeah.
He's got to avoid being hung wide, 3 and 4 wide. It might take a little bit out of that run. Yeah, that's the key for him, is that run into the turn, maybe the mid-turn. Can he save some ground?
Look, it's a big enough field to indeed perhaps cause some trouble for some of the closers. So the worry is there.
No doubt.
We're going to be looking towards Javian to make sure that this horse keeps that momentum going and doesn't get stalled. Race number 3, 1 turn 1 mile the distance, claiming $5,000, known it is a 2 a lifetime for Felicie Mouse, a 3-year-old and up. We use similar horses here. Look, I did land on Middle Island for trainer John Saltzman Jr. This is going to be her first start for that new barn. She's run once over the 1 turn mile here before. Now, she didn't have a good beginning. She kind of tried to make up in the middle sections for that. Now she drops to the lowest level of her career, but she won for the maiden 10. So this is that kind of move that you go, look, you win for the maiden 10. Now she did it well enough. This is kind of the logical next step if you can't step it up like they tried with her.
Yeah, the negative here is that drop, 25 to the 10, and then in for 20, back down to the nickel, right? But she hasn't run, and her figures, she belongs right about right here, right?
Yeah.
So we see the stats going back. Salzman Jr. has done well, first time in the barn. I think Harper's Due might be a little bit more tactical than Middle Island. I like the trip this one got last time. She was able to draft up and behind the horse's saving ground. She tipped 3 wide, and it was over at the 3/8 pole. Let's see if she can make it 2 in a row off of that clear, convincing maiden score.
Well,
this is a tough little race, though.
That was a good figure that came back as well, and a strong appearance. It could indeed be good enough against some of these that have just kind of starting to drop off form a little bit in here. So I definitely use her as well. I also throw in the number 6, Pass It On for Carlos Mancia. Does have to find some of her better form again, but third start after a small break here for the Mancia barn, giving her a chance at perhaps a little bit of a price. She's the type of runner that you just got to look for late, and that's why I put her in here, because she got plenty of time to keep going to that second wire.
No doubt. I mean, I didn't throw in the 7. I'm looking here now. Mike Gorham, second off a break, a go back of 47 here. Maybe throw that one in your exacted as well. It's tough. I shouldn't be doing that, but sometimes you look late, and you're like looking at a horse and this horse could wake up. Yeah, got the old unhurried comment at Delaware, I think, in the long comment. We'll see. Okay.
Yeah, you take another look at the field and you go, actually, this horse
I missed
could
something.
work too. Well, you better come out and say, how about that one too for your exact, and see if we can get a price. Race number 4 is our feature race actually of the day. Mile and 16 the distance for 3 other den types. And look at that Rainbow Pick 6. It did not go out yesterday. $13,087 here to get you started in race number 4. We're going to start with a video spotlight on the rail runner, Gentleman Joe, for trainer Norm Cash. He made an eye-catching, aggressively wide move. He was rolling around the field with apprentice William Humphrey on board. It looked a little bit like the game of Joe's at that point, because you had Ben and Joe in there as well. Now, Ben and Joe ended up backing up. Gentleman Joe covering all the ground, but look who slips through on the rail. Good old Plot the Dots. He fights back, but still really, really strong performance here from Gentleman Joe.
And they were really going at it. You saw from the 3/8 pole, Ben and Joe, the rider, under, really asking the horse outside under a serious drive. And this is, as a younger rider, sometimes you may get a little excited and moved quick, and it was against the grain of the racetrack, out wide when you wanted to be kind of inside. So plot the dots, rode the best part. We've got a short field here today.
Yes.
Looks like Ben and Joe again. He likes to leave. Caribbean, whatever, off the claim is going to be forward.
Yeah, it's going to press.
I think Gentleman Joe can just draft in safe, plenty of ground, and just wait and spy. He's got good positional speed. He can bring a finish. I like him right back. We saw Norman Cash with Eastern Bay, a horse that can be able to kind of come back to his good form. This horse is going to hold form, I think, in here and run a big one.
I agree with you, but I did exchange the placings here with Treasure Trove on top, who's also going to come off the pace for trainer Anthony Ferrier. The Pimlico Special, the Grade 3 Pimlico Special, was a tough race on Black Eyed Susan Day, and he tried to close into a slower pace as well. I guess some very, very tough runners, including a pair of top Pledger runners who actually ended up not winning. It was First Captain who got disposed. But this is class relief in comparison. I think there's much more of an honest pace for him to target. And if he just gets a cleaner break, he's going to be within more reach as well. I'm seeing him 3, maybe 2 lengths off it here instead of the 6.5, 7 that he ended up finding himself off. Trying to get into that slow pace, it just really didn't pan out for him.
No, it didn't. But he works right back in for the tag. Obviously, he's gotten through the condition before.
Yep.
Yeah, he looks like the one that's got the strongest punch. So if things get really rolling up front, we'll see in the shorter field if it does. This horse can definitely sustain.
Yeah, we both use the Caribbean as well. First, after being claimed by the Gonzalez outfit, weight comes off with Jaron Barbosa. And when those two team up, they've been hitting at about, my latest figures here is about 40%. So a very, very high strike rate together. And he's got the back class as well to topple some of these with that outside draw. Take a small commercial break. We'll be right back.
Top by 3, by 4, and moving away.
Welcome back to Laurel Park. 9 races. We're on race number 5, and this is a mile with 3/8 the distance on the turf. We had one of these exact races yesterday as well. We got 2 more lining up today. Yesterday was taken by a Creative Cairo, Victor Carrasco, and more for trainer Christophe Clement. So today, let's try and pick the winner again here. Look, I was already kind of giving it to you a little bit before we went on air. You went with Fermat. Fermat is a bit of a deep closer. Does not get away from the gate that strongly. It's just kind of his prerogative. But his late rallies could help him out. Now, the problem is, when it comes to these deep closers, if you're going further and the pace isn't there, that doesn't necessarily work out. And it makes me think of Fire in the Hole yesterday, where that was a similar scenario, where they kind of walked the dog a little bit up front. Very clever ride there by Victor Carrasco and another front runner with him. They slowed it back down, and then it was a 1-2 for the front runners.
Yeah.
Who's to say that doesn't happen again kind of here, right?
That is true. That is true. So you beat me down on your last day, and then you're out the door. That's it. I got nothing.
No,
I'm coming down during the race card. I'm not going to do one of
the
the charts. I'm going to come down here and get you. No. But I can see your reason. You're exactly right. I mean, in these races, if these horses that have a little bit of talent, they're allowed to relax a little bit, get away with that 48 and change, 49 on this turf course, they can carry it. So yes, I do expect Roy to be out there quite a ways. In effect, doesn't have a ton of speed, but got position, was well placed within a few lengths at Delaware against an okay
which
field.
I liked that he at least ran into it a little
and that was into a lone speed on Conquered Spirit, who came back to run big again in a 2 other than. But, Fermat, he had so much trouble 2 races back, and he had trouble again last time out. And he made 2 moves in that race 2 races ago. Okay. So I think he's got a chance to make an earlier move, hopefully get within range, and then make one final fire maybe through the last 3/16. Because Roy's a horse, when I went back and watched that video last time, I wonder if he hit the top a little too soon, and waited. Audacious Quality, the proving, came back to a big run in this stake. But I think Roy's going to have some company. I think Benny Havens is a horse that could kind of go out there and force the issue, make an early move. So we'll see. A little better price. Roy, the horse to beat. I will use your 8 horse in there as well.
Well, you mentioned because Audacious Quality came back to run 4th in the fine stakes, only beat by 3/4 length.
Could have won the race.
Could have won a blanket finish that day. Rowan, though, is indeed possibly with that low draw, that forward momentum by Go Sapper out of a Stormy Atlantic mare. Pedigree suggests that the distance is going to be just fine for him as well. Look, I tried to beat him too with a closer as well, so I was kind of course, going against it, but in effect, when the pace is in there, has shown to lay closer. And I think that's the difference here. He gets JD Acosta on board. JD Acosta is not going to hang around when they're not moving up front.
No.
You need a rider that can spot that pace collapse, that can spot go, oh, you know what? They're going too fast, I'm going to go back. They're going too slow, I'm going to go forward. You need to have a rider that does that. I think JD Acosta does it. So does Victor Carrasco, by the way. That's why he was so clever yesterday. But yeah, I landed on here. And he's already graded 6th placed as well, the Hall of Fame in Saratoga last year, where he was a little bit further back, but they were going fast enough.
And he's got the experience of going this marathon, longer distance. So yeah, it's an interesting little race. Riders race. Rowan should be very comfortable today with this flow. I expect him to stay around. Just a little more value maybe with Fermat. I like the way he's overcome some adversity.
Yeah, well, we'll see what happens here in race 5.
That's
race number 6.
There'll be another race for me.
Exactly. Maiden claiming event here, $10,000 to $8,000 tag. Started the late pick 4. This is how I play it. 4 deep in here, 2, 4, 5, and 6. Really don't trust anyone quite explicitly, to be quite honest. I could have gone, let's say, just go stopwatch Sunny, but look, the horse was bought for 110, now in for the 10. That doesn't bode well. That's not the best kind of idea. So I went and spread. I single on the favorite in the 2 other down race, race number 7. That is another woman. Second start after that long break. First start at first level allowance. She just ran away with it. Now, that was, of course, an easier field that she's facing today. But with the upward curve, I think she can do well here. 4 deep in race number 8, 2, 5, 7, and 9. Then in race number 9, I used Dolce Vita as well as the number 4 Solomon's Choice here. Mile and 16, that maiden 16 for a $16 ticket. That does hinge around the Brittany Russell runner here. But let's talk about the maiden claiming race here. Maiden 10 to 8,000, 5.5 furlongs. Sprinting distance. Going to start with your top selection, Keith. My exacta play here. Stopwatch Sunny. I was giving my hand away a little bit already here. This was a 2-year-old OBS April, $110,000 purchase. They've given her time. It might just not be working out. She might not be what they thought she was going to be. Now in for the $10,000 tag. Works are okay, but not blistering fast, and that's why she's here, I'm assuming.
No. The mare was 3 for 12, topped at a 74. A 4-year-old full sister is unraced. Did work, and my man Fisher today doing all his homework said this horse worked 9 and 4 down at the sale, pretty brisk. But you know what? Now you got to go 5.5 furlongs, a little further than 1/8 of a mile, but plenty of time to get her ready. But question marks abound. But when you're dealing with barns like this, they can afford to do it. They have plenty of horses. They want to get her in a spot where she can get it done at first asking. The only other one I see here, Superiority, or maybe I should say 2. I thought Rational Millennial lost all chance last time, but yeah, this is I stopwatch Sunny and then maybe the 2 and the 5. That's all I got here.
Right, yeah,
I don't
used
have
Superiority
much
on top just because she outran her 20-1 odds last time out. With a front-running and tenacious bid, I think she'll find the right kind of group here, except perhaps the unknown that is Stopwatch Sunny. So, yeah, we'll see how things shake out here in race number 6. Race number 7, 6 furlongs of distance there. 2 other than optional claim for Fizimes, a 3-year-old and up. I'm going with the favorite here. I'm putting all my eggs in the Brittany Russell basket here with another woman. We look back at her seasonal reappearance, not even seasonal. That was the first race in nearly a year for her, and a barn change from Bill Mott to Brittany Russell. She got bumped, and hence, if you look at the head-on as well as the side-on, she did lose some of that gate speed. Now, she found herself in a stalking spot, though. You can see she's the number 2 there. Before just kind of taking over belatedly with ease, came in a little bit at the top of the lane, but then straight it up. All in all, I was very pleased with that effort. Yeah,
and Toledo did a good job there to avoid any real trouble. He kind of aggressively put her into that spot to the inside to make sure she wasn't shut off down the backstretch, and she got position. She got to the best part of the racetrack, the rail, eases out and just overwhelms, horses right here to go off by – I went through my number here. Was it 9? It was an awful big mark.
9.5.
9.5. Yeah, a little lovely, little drift in, and then C in the room. And so, like when you get the entries and you're the other owners and trainers, and you're like, man, a horse can run a 70 couple, and you got her coming in at a 84. Comment ridden out, awfully tough right back. Second time for Brittany Russell. Needs to get away from the gate, though. There's some other proven speeds, some serious speeds that can carry speed that will fight you if you make that move into them. I think this is a little tougher field. Proper tire, Margie's Heaven, very quick.
Yes.
I try for a little bit of an upset shot, a way to return. I've always liked this filly for Damon. She put it all together last time, and it was the ride. I mean, William Humphrey really got along with her well, came away cleanly, got her relaxed and settled outside on an inside day, and she really had a good kick top of the stretch home. I think she could sit just off of it with a cleaner break and stalk and move into it. Does she have the finish of the 5? Maybe, maybe not. But, again, offers a little bit more value there. If you're going to go too deep, I'd go 1-5.
Yeah, no, I didn't use her at all. I went with Moody Woman on the outside, who actually went up against older types last time out for the first time. Did come with a customary late run. But I love that Georgie Ruiz gets back on board. He's done well with her in the past, kind of shakes her up, gets her going, and really produces the best out of her. So that was kind of my key pickup there. And then, well, Margie's Heaven is already a 5-time winner, and then coming in here with blistering early speed, second after that break as well. Can't really leave her off.
No, it's situation. You've got 2 main speeds to me with proper attire and Margie's Heaven. If one gets left, the other could be gone a long way. So sometimes you got to hedge in these situations with speed. But you're right about Moody Woman. No interest really early last time. Settled well back. Should be a little bit closer, I think, when the time they hit the top of the stretch in here.
Yeah, I think so as well. She's going to be a bit more aggressively ridden, I think, by Georgie. Race number 8, another 1 3/8 on the turf. We got 3 in total, right, with that race yesterday. So 2 today. First level allowance. We do have a video spotlight on the number 7, Call Me Plucky. We look back at our last race. She's also trained by Brittany Russell. He is, had an outside draw that day. He ends up far back as the pace was pretty decent. Did started to find in those final parts of the race. The reason I like him in here is because he's got a good stride length through him. He is that plugging along kind of type. Now, I don't believe they're going to go as blistering fast here as what they did last time. I think he's going to be much more forwardly paced.
I agree. You go back on his page, there's races where he's only 3.5 out of it at that 3/4 mile. Right? He's not really a deep closer. It's just kind of the flow got away. I don't think it's going to get away this afternoon, so he'll be able to stay within range. He should be right there turning for home. And let's see who brings the top finish from the quarter pole to the wire. I use Consultant in there. My top selection, I think Consultant had a little bit of trouble last time, is going to like this extra distance, 2/3 off the layout, to be positioned close up. But talk about the Great Wizard a little bit for Graham Motion, Eclipse Thoroughbred Partners and Company. A little stat here for Graham. And this was an interesting move. I got this stat. Here it is. 3 years, last 3 years, 13 for 52, 25% with the 3-year-olds going long on the grass off of this type of layoff. Positive ROI 245. Now, you might be a little more familiar with the stallion. I was not. Caravaggio. He was mainly
very fast,
short
sprinter type.
Yes. But then I look back on the bottom side, and there's plenty of long.
Galileo Mare.
Yes.
You would expect a very tough routing individual. For sure.
So this intrigues me. Blinkers on, LASIK's on. You're kind of convinced me a little bit. You want to be kind of forward in these races if you can carry it. Gray Wizard to the front. Let's go.
Look, I'm intrigued. The reason I left the Gray Wizard off, left him off my top 3, I had him underneath just as a saver here because it is Grey Emotion, it is Fergal Lynch. I'm not surprised that they spring the upset. I use Time From US. Time From US used figures back in Europe as well. He hasn't run fast enough. Some of the numbers that others have run in here are about 20 points higher than what he showed. That's a big difference to overcome. Is it impossible to overcome on your 3rd start? No. Can still continue to improve. But that's going to have to do it for me. And indeed, I saw Caravaggio. I was really wondering about that long distance when you have such a sprint sire on top. But look, perhaps the Galileo quality of the mare is going to help out here. And look, in Graham we trust, right? With these longer turf routes. That's one thing that he does excel at.
And I think what you would say with him, then, the way I'm looking at it, he's all or nothing, probably. Gets to the front, is able to dictate. But do use Consultant out of that race with Royne. Had to wait at the quarter pole just as he was really kind of getting to ramp up and make his run. I don't know if he was going to quite bring the finish of the top 2. He had more in the tank and really kept on going, was with interest. Victor was all over him the last 16th of a mile. Call Me Plucky I've got. amended. There's that combo again. William Humphrey, Norman Cash. Numbers on the go back at the fairgrounds. It certainly worked. Those races tough. Those horses move on and win other places. Had this horse at a good price last time. I think can be a stayer against this group at a price.
What about Take Profit, though? I kind of like him, the number 2. He's run much further in the past. Blinkers go on. They try to sharpen him up as well. Has to possibly run a bit better than some of his flat run efforts, but at least you know the distance is going to be right up his alley, so didn't want to leave him out either. And he gets Junior Barbosa on board, so the weight comes off, and that's something that could make a huge difference when you're going longer. You do see that the longer you go, the more effect that weight half here gets 118 pounds to carry. Last race of the card is race number 9, mile and 16 the distance around the 2-turn, maiden 16 to 12,500. We both landed on Dolice Vita. I keep mispronouncing it. Del Capuano trains. Look, simply speaking, she's run the kind of figures that are better than the majority in this field here. Perhaps Solomon's Choice will be your direct competitor when it comes to those figures. He's getting back to the main track here after a couple of turf tries. But Dolice Vita, kind of that speedy inside kind of move that I like here. Get position, save some ground. I see it happening for him.
Going to hold one more time at the 16 level. Could have gone back down. I guess you're right. Hit gate, off slow, an excuse. Hopefully sends and just goes, gets to the front and can control things. Solomon's Choice, maybe should have lined at 4 to 5. Probably going to be about 3 to 5 now, I guess, with this scratch. Proven going longer. Maybe a little bit better on an off track, but holding pretty good form. Had an excuse definitely on June the 5th on the turf, but shown definitely probably the best routing numbers in the field. That's it, 1 or 4, 4 or 1 for me in the nightcap. How about Linda Albert yesterday?
Oh,
Linda Albert with 2. I love it.
Yeah, Kevin Gomez aboard for sure. No, well, look, talking about winners, it was a good day for a couple of people. Let's get going with lightning round.
You got it.
Victor Carrasco was having himself quite the day. 3 winners starting out in race number 3 with Vote Them All Out, which was Calais Francois Price play for trainer Michael Trombetta. Then with Burgi on the main track. And then here in that longer race that we were talking about with Creative Cairo, that mile 3/8 the distance, kind of slowing them right back down on front. Victor is truly, as a rider, hitting incredibly well here at Laurel Park. And so he did at Pimlico.
Definitely.
He is currently just really holding his form. Look, he might not be atop the standings right now, but I'm happy to see Victor on a horse that I have on top.
He's in sync with his mounts. He's riding heady rides, putting his horses in position to win, no doubt.
Yeah, as we move on to the next topic, which also involves a jockey, one of the stalwarts of our colony here, until he unfortunately was sidelined with injury. Now, Sheldon Russell is nearing a return, hopefully, after 9 months away from the track. He was about to come back after a fall, then unfortunately got injured again, according to his agent, Marty Leonard. He's doing great. He's getting back on horses for a couple of weeks now. He's been feeling good. Look, it'd be wonderful to see him back here again. He was originally hurt, last September. It was a 2-year-old that ended up rearing up and dropping him. And that was, I think, her first start as well. So that was just incredibly unfortunate. And then he was about to come back into action. And then he went and got dropped again. And he broke his collarbone. So it's just very, very unfortunate for the Maryland champion jockey.
It shows how tough these jockeys are. I mean, you're not going to go through it unscathed, right? I mean, it's the injuries it's part of the game. They bounce back up. They keep on going. Sheldon's an ultra competitive, strong rider, strong finisher, good smart rider. Good to see him on his way back. Gives me another option to bet on. I mean, and the other riders have to take note.
Oh, they will.
Because he's going to steal some mounts from somebody, you know that.
Well, we know, of course, partner, trainer Brittany Russell, I'm sure will provide him with some decent opportunities for his return as well. Unfortunately, I won't be here to see him return, but I wish him all the best. We're very excited to see him back again. Now, talking about best bets here. Keith, where are we going today?
Gentleman Joe, 4th race. Won't be a huge price, maybe in that 5-2 range when it's all said and done. Need a good break, stalk, and move into it. And try to hold off the closers.
Yeah, I'm going with another woman in race number 7. Made her my single for trainer Brittany Russell, so let's hope that she can get the job done. How about a bit of a price play?
Is that the 5th race? There it is. The one I got
Fermat.
abused on. Fermat. 6-1. You should
It's
definitely
become
demand
good.
5
Yeah.
or 6-1 on Fermat. May not win it. Hopefully get into your exactas. That's the key with these value plays. Not a stone cold winner, but something live to use in your exacta tries and your multi-race wagers. Lightning round. We got one more topic, I think.
We do?
I've been told.
Oh,
Somebody in
what's
my
the-
ear. I don't know. What do we got?
Oh, that's so sad.
There we go. Farewell.
Oh, wow. Thank you, everyone. No, that's so. Tot ziens means see you later, basically, and hopefully until we meet again and I lay my eyes upon you again is basically what it means.
Okay.
It means to see you again. So
Excellent.
thank you, guys. No, I appreciate that. It's been absolutely amazing. We still have one day left, right? And
Yeah.
I'm sure I'll see everyone again soon. But
You
it's
got it.
been an incredible time, and I couldn't be more
It's-
fond of the experience I gained, the people I worked with, and some of the wonderful memories that I get to take with me moving forward. So yeah,
No
thank you,
doubt.
everyone.
No
and
doubt.
be back soon with Khalid to talk you through this 9-race card.
All right. Good luck.